Welcome coders. In this video we are going to learn about AWS IAM roles. Now in our last video we have seen how we can create user, and we have also seen how we have create policy. Now in this tutorial I will show you how you can create roles and why roles. Okay, now let's start. Now according to AWS documentation, they represent a role using a hat, the image of an hat. Now why they represent a role using an image of an hat? Because a hat can be put on by a AWS Lambda or by IAM user. Now what does that mean? Now let's say the IAM user is wearing this hat, the hat of read S3. So this means the IAM user can read the data that is present in the S3 bucket. Similarly, there is a Lambda function, and inside a Lambda function we have written a Python code, and that Python code is reading some data. Let's say there is a CSV data, or say CSV file present inside an S3 bucket. So now also you need one permission, or you can say one role. That role must have S3 read permission. So now in the second case, Lambda will read that Python code inside Lambda will read the S3 file that is present inside S3. So during that event, Lambda will wear this hat of read S3. Similarly, let's say an IAM user want to start an EC2 instance. Let's say there's an EC2 instance that is off, and you want to start that EC2 instance from an IAM user. Let's say you are an user, you logged into AWS Console and you want to start an EC2 instance. So during that event, in that scenario, you must have a permission, or you must have a role that is start EC2 instance. Similarly, a Lambda function, let's say a Python function, let's say a Python code that is present inside Lambda want to start one EC2 instance. So during that time, Lambda function will wear this hat. Okay. Similarly, create S3 bucket. Similarly, trigger glue. Let's say an IAM user wants to trigger an AWS glue job. So during that time, AWS glue trigger hat will be owned by IAM user. Similarly, Lambda function wants to trigger one AWS glue job. So this black hat will be used by Lambda function. So roles are represented by hats. Okay. So a role can be used by an IAM user. A role can be used by any other service. Okay. In our case, Lambda can also use this role. Okay. Now inside role there are policies. So there are multiple policies which I demonstrated to in my last lecture. So policies are the fundamental units of permission. That permission is grouped together, that is named as a role, and role can be assigned to an IAM user or to a AWS service. Let's move to our AWS console. So this is our AWS IAM page. Now I am in my AWS root account. Okay. So I will first create one policy. Then on top of that I will create one role. Then I will do some modifications. Then I will show you how you can change the role. Okay. Means how you can place a role on top of a user. So let's begin. Let me minimize my screen first. Okay. Yeah. So this is my AWS IAM page. Now first go to the policies. Okay. The policies page will come. Then you create on click policy. Select the service. So our first service we would like to have, that is S3. Type S3. Okay. Now inside S3 you need to pick some of the services. Okay. Which can be used by an user or which can be used by a service. Okay. So first I would like to have all my bucket. Then list bucket is also there. Okay. Then create bucket. So create bucket would come under right. Create job, create bucket. Yes, create bucket. Do I need anything else? I don't think. Okay, we'll see if it is not even there. So this is the JSON that has been created, and you can see these are the actions that has been taken. Okay, now if we go to next, now it is saying that what is a policy name. Now I would like to, I have already taken some of the policy name. Let's take that. Okay, policy I will take, this is manual policy. Okay, S3. come over here and I will take this one policy, and I have given policy name is a manual policy S3 create. Okay, create the policy. Okay, so just wait for some time so that AWS will create that one for us. Just type manual to check that yes, create policy. Okay, now once this is done, then we will create one role. Now click on create role. You will check, you will select AWS service. Again here also you select S3. Okay, S3. Okay. Now go click on next. Then we will select the policy which we created. Manual, I think this was the one which we had created. Go to next. Give a role name. Role name also you give, let's say manual. Manual role S3 create list. Okay. Now okay. Click on create role. Okay. Now I have created one role. I have created one policy. Okay. So now in the present scenario, you can attach that policy to a user directly. Okay. This one I have already shown you in my last lecture. Now, if you want to assign that role to an user, how will you do that? So, as I have another user which I have demonstrated in my second video, I guess. So I will open my Firefox over here. Now I have logged in as a demo user 1. Okay. Now using demo user 1, if you want to change the role, because that role can be owned by a user as well. So click on demo user. Now switch role. Okay, you have switched the role. Now you will press the, now you will here enter the account ID. Now this account ID is the same ID which you will get while creating your AWS account. Copy this one and paste it over here. This is the 12-digit number which you will get when you will create your AWS account using your credit card. Now it is asking for IAM role. So for which role? Okay. Now the role which we had created, go to our Google Chrome. The role which we had created, I had given that manual is created. Okay, this one. So copy this role name. Come to Firefox, paste over here. Okay, so this is the role name. Now switch role. Invalid information is more list. Okay. Account ID. Okay. Now this is the error. Why? I mean, it is saying invalid because the trust policy of the role doesn't trust this user. So we need to change our trust policy. So go to your IAM of your account. Now this is our role. Click over here. Then this is the trust policy. Okay. Click on the trust policy and you will get that. Now you need to edit this trust policy. Click on edit. Now you can see this trust policy over here, and in this trust policy it is not there to whom it should trust, and we need to modify this JSON such a way that it should trust demo user 1. Okay, I will paste all the trust policies, all the policy and all the roles, that JSON data in my website, that is the siliconboard.com. You can go and just copy paste it over here in your AWS account. So I will open my document, and this is the trust policy for the role. Okay, copy it and I will paste it over here. So trust policy is pasted. Now update the trust policy. Okay. Now our role will trust the request from a user, that is demo user. Okay, such that it can use which role? The role of create list. Okay. Now create S3 list. Now switch back to Firefox. Now switch role. Now it is successful. Okay. Now let it open. Now you can see I have used S3. So click over here, or you can also type S3 in the search box. Click on S3. Now click on create bucket. So now you can see we are using a role. We are not using as a user. Create bucket. Let's say I will give it a name called test bucket for switch role. Okay, this would be enough. Create bucket, and our bucket is created. You can see the green ribbon. Successfully created bucket, test bucket for switch role. There is an insufficient permission. You need to put S3 put encryption. So that is not important for now. Now if you go to the bucket list, and you can see your one new bucket has been created. Now let's test one more thing. Let's say I want to delete this bucket. Okay, let's delete this bucket. It cannot be undone, all those things. Now copy this text, that's the bucket name over here. Okay, I am trying to delete it. Obviously it will fail. Why this is failing? Because in the policy, let's open the policy. Okay, manual S3 create. Okay, let's open the JSON section of it. In the policy, we have not defined that this policy can delete any bucket. So that's why you are getting this error over here. Okay, so you don't have any permission. This role doesn't have any permission to delete any bucket. So this is about a role that is being used by one user. A IAM user is assuming that he or she is using this role. That's okay.